The V set. Many swear by it. Let's test out the 3531 today and see how it performs. There's an endless debate in the craps community. Can dice setting actually create a player advantage? Between the grip, the load, the launch, and the landing, the sources of variation seem endless. But if we can minimize those variables with consistent technique, can we actually find an edge? How many rolls can a specific set survive before the dreaded 7 ends the run? We're putting the physics to the test and collecting the raw data. Is it skill or just plain luck? Let's find out on this episode of What Are the Odds? Hello, thanks for joining me today. I hope you're doing great. If you're new here, we throw dice set, in this case the 3531, as many times as it takes to produce the 7 10 times. We're going to track each of our throws. The first throw here is an 8. You'll see that get onto our tracker, and again we'll just continue repeating this process until we have achieved 10 7s. And in the interest of time, we'll speed things up and we'll do a data breakdown on the other side. See ya. It was a pretty good dice set with 74 rolls, a streak of 19 before hitting those 10 sevens. We actually had 5 numbers that favored their standard, which were respectively the 8, 5, 6, 12, and 10. But not only that, we also have 3 numbers here that outperform the 7 individually just on a roll-by-roll basis, and we'll look at that on the next slide. In looking at these rolls individually, the 7 did produce 10 times, but the 8 produced 15 times, a third of the time more than that. The 6, 20% more than that, and the 5, 1 more roll than that. So we had 3 numbers that single-handedly came out more than the 7. And in addition to those numbers performing favorably to their standard expectation, we also saw favorability in the 10 and the 12. Our worst numbers here were the 3, 9, and 4, respectively. A quick look at our sisters shows us very strong 6 and 8 performance, with slight favorability in the 5 and the 9. The 4 and the 10 does fall off, and the 3 and 11 was a strong miss. Our hardways severely underperformed today, expected to roll 8.2 times, but we only produced 4 of those, and not a single hardway met its expectations. And regarding our horns, we did fall short of expectations there by more than 3 rolls, but the 2 and the 12 did outperform their individual expectations. And for our see a horn, bet a horn, we only hit 2 consecutive rolls. We never had 3 horns produced back to back to back. So in summary, this V set of the 3-5-3-1, we see favorability toward the light side, 74 rolls versus an expected 60 rolls. So we really did outperform there. And over half of our rolls resulted in 3 numbers, which were the 5, 6, and 8. We should have hit those just under 40% of the time. And speaking of the 5, 6, and 8, those numbers did dominate with this dice set. The 8 rolled nearly 50% more times than expected. And the 10 also outperformed its expectations. However, the 4 and the 9 did come up more than 2 rolls short of their standard. Our hardways were very disappointing. They underperformed across the board. Again, we expected 8.2 of those and only threw 4 of them. And the hard 10 never emerged once. And the horns were a similar story in just underperforming overall. We only had 2 see a horn, bet a horns hit, and then 9 horn rolls that we threw. And that's going to do it for this rollout of the 3-5-3-1. Thanks for tuning in. Have an amazing rest of your day. And I look forward to you joining me on the next episode of What Are the Odds?